friends. Welcome back to All Things Divine. I am your host, Ericka Dontello, and I am here to help you feel safe and secure, deeply centered, and grounded within your home. Your home being your mind, body, spirit, soul, and physical environments. Together, on this podcast, we will heal, be well, and grow well. We will reach our highest divine selves and walk in our destiny, passion, and purpose. And we will do this by using psychology, complementary and alternative medicine, energy clearing and healing, as well as other holistic wellness practices. Now, the vibe also on this podcast is to evolve and execute what we have learned. So let's get started. Freedom Mastery is the #1 life planner. It not only helps you get organized, but it also teaches you about manifestation. Now, their intention is to create the best tools, planners, and trainings that help you create freedom on all levels of life so that you can manifest your dream life. They have worldwide shipping, fast results, and over 500,000 users. So if you want to get organized while also manifesting your dream life and seeing it come to fruition, go ahead and check out Freedom Mastery at freedommastery.com. You will not regret it. It's Friday, and I am so happy to say TGI motherfucking F. I am looking forward to this weekend. I need a little R&R, so I plan to get that and more. Plus, let's not forget, it is Super Bowl weekend, and I can't be the only person ready to watch Usher. Well, in the game, but Usher. Okay, back to it being Friday. I'm going to say this again. It is Friday, and on Fridays, we break bread in our home. So I want to check in on our February challenge. If you are listening for the first time, I challenged my friends to change the frequency, and we did a 3 to 6 day challenge. So make sure you listen to the last episode about vibrating at a high frequency to get more details. I would love to hear how everyone did. And remember, it may take longer than 3 days, but it is important to keep an inventory of how many negative thoughts enter your mind. And when they do, change it with a positive affirmation immediately to continue rewiring your brain. Now, I will be honest, because I got to keep it 100 with my friends. It took me 6 days, and I feel like that's 6 days plus because I have to continue watching my thoughts and redirect myself because, again, we're vibrating high over here. So if anyone has any questions, you can definitely email me at hello@divinesly.com. That's hello, HELLO, at DVNSLY.com. And I will answer your questions. And maybe if I get enough questions, I can do a little episode about them. And we can just continue just flowing that energy and vibrating high. So speaking of high vibrations, we're going to continue vibrating higher and attracting all things meant for our good. So think of this as an energy clearing, healing, and attracting course. And we are at All Things Divine University. I kind of like the ring of Divine University. I might have to play around with that for a future project. But as you know, some of the work that I do with clients is in energy healing and medical intuition. And in doing this, your chakras talk to me and I relay that information to you, and we come up with a plan to help that chakra and to help you become more grounded and centered. So with that being said, today I want to talk to you about the Crown Chakra. Now, I know that we've done a lot of work on our root chakra. We have been healing and just being grounded with the root and doing so much work, but we're going to move to the Crown Chakra today. Now, the Crown Chakra is located at the top of the head within the cerebral cortex, and it represents the seat of divine awareness, of unity, spiritual connection, and consciousness. So to get a good visual, I always say that the location of the crown chakra is at the top of the head where a soft spot would be on a newborn. And it's the highest vibration chakra, and it's the highest vibration color, and that color is violet. So the crown chakra is also known in Sanskrit. Now I'm going to try to say this, but before I say this word, I'm letting you know I might butcher it, because the crown chakra is the only one that I struggle with saying in Sanskrit. So you may know it as the crown chakra because that's what we're going to say today. But you may have also heard people say, let's see if I can do this. Pray for me. Sahasrara. I know I said that so wrong, but you may have heard it kind of similar like that in Sanskrit. Totally butchered it. I'm sorry, guys. So, although it is located at the top of your head, the crown is actually your seventh chakra. So as you know, the root chakra is your first, and that's at the base. And of course, naturally, as humans, we would want to count down, thinking that the crown chakra is the first, but it's not. It's actually the seventh chakra. And the crown chakra is not associated with any physical elements. This chakra is beyond the physical realm, and it's associated with pure consciousness or transcendence in the thought process of a human being. So because it's not directly connected to physical elements, that doesn't mean that you won't feel it in your physical body. And I'll get into that in just a bit. But two things that it is deeply connected with is your emotional and mental body. Now, with the emotional body, the crown, it serves as like the gateway for our soul to connect to higher realms, to connect our thoughts to consciousness, or provide higher guidance and foster spiritual insights. Now, for the mental body, when you have a balanced and open crown chakra with your mental body, it will expand our awareness of understanding beyond the limitations of our physical body. It does encourage us to think more than the world around us, whatever surrounding us. We think above that, and we may start to explore metaphysical concepts or attain self-realization. And we just really have an in-depth understanding of interconnectedness. And that's with the mental body and your crown. So with all of that being said, you can definitely have an imbalanced, blocked, or over hyperactive crown chakra. And when that happens, you can feel physical symptoms such as maybe poor coordination. You could feel exhausted and fatigued, headaches, dizziness, light sensitivity, brain fog, and your sleep could even be disturbed. The blockage in the crown emotionally will manifest in the form of maybe you feeling a lack of purpose and you feel disconnected from yourself and your world around you. You could feel confused, distracted, lack of focus, feelings of any type of isolation or depression, and you can really have an identity crisis with an imbalanced chakra. You could have an inability to let go of certain attachments, or you could have limiting beliefs, like a lack mentality, and you could really have emotional blockage. So the crown could really have you messed up, but we can always get it back. So don't worry. And I will be honest, I have had to do some work recently with my crown chakra. Now, I didn't have like headaches or dizziness. I think I did have headaches, but I'm going to blame that on the flu for January. But light sensitivity, brain fog, and I kept telling one of my best friends, I was like, I just feel foggy. Like my mind just feels foggy. My sleep messed up. I don't even want to get into detail about my sleep. If that comes up later, then I will go into detail, but that was definitely affected. Now, emotionally, I didn't feel any type of depression, but I felt like I need to do some energy work within myself, some energy clearing, because I felt like I could isolate myself and become depressed. So, and that has a lot to do with just the energy of January, which was really affecting me even more with my crown chakra and just how I felt. So, the reason the crown is so important is when we are trying to connect and vibrate at a higher frequency. Remember, I stated previously that the crown represents the seat of the divine awareness, unity, spiritual connection, and consciousness. So when we're trying to vibrate higher, we are also getting all of those things in sync because they're all connected to the crown. So we are doing work with your conscious mind, and we're balancing your crown, and we're channeling that high frequency. We're opening up that channel. We're clearing energy. We're doing all that today on this episode. So what does higher frequency mean? Now, the higher the frequency of your energy or vibration, the lighter you feel in your physical, emotional, and mental bodies. So you experience greater personal power, peace, love, clarity, joy. You experience all of those high vibrating emotions. And you have little, if any, discomfort or pain in your physical body. Remember those physical symptoms that we just talked about. And your emotions are easily dealt with. So this is really important that I want to point out, because we are human. So we're not going to be in I always say, I just want to frolic in the forest. And so we're not going to be frolicking in the forest every day. We're not going to have that energy every day because things happen. We have other dynamics around us. So yeah, we could be in a bad mood, but the emotions are easily dealt with. We allow ourselves that time. We work through it. We keep moving. And it could be where before we may, stay in that energy and just expand it out until it could have been handled in 1 hour. And we're expanding it out to like 10, 15 hours, 3 weeks, 2 months. So I want to really highlight that your emotions are easily dealt with when you're vibrating high. Seek Jesus Heaven Made is a brand that strives to provide high quality Christian apparel for believers and followers of Christ. They have the most affordable and comfortable active and leisure clothing. Now, their mission is to spread the gospel of Christ throughout the world while supporting those on the mission field. And a portion of all sales are donated towards several mission fields. Dedicated to serve and spread the gospel around the world, they want your clothing to start a conversation. Visit them at seekjesus.co. So this is why I started you off with the 3 to 6 day challenge of taking personal inventory of how many negative thoughts enter your mind and training and conditioning yourself to change the vibration by immediately saying affirmations. For example, if you're looking in the mirror and you think, gosh, I look so fat, you take a mental note and then you say, I love my body. This color looks good on me. Or I eat clean and I show my body how much I love and admire it. That reprograms your mind. This is quantum physics, quantum entanglement, law of attraction, and manifestation. So if you are wondering by now, okay, well, how do I get there? How do I continue to vibrate at a higher frequency to attract the things that I want? Well, my answer, it's simple. And my answer would be feel it. Now, don't you dare turn off this podcast because I said feel it. I'm going to tell you how to feel it. When you focus on the things that you don't have, you are creating energy for you not to have it. And you enhance that energy because you put your conscious and subconscious mind in a lack mentality. And that lack mentality can escalate to you being in a survival mentality. So you're just constantly vibrating low. Sure, you can say you want things, but if you are not moving in that energy, feeling what you want, then you will forever be in a cycle of you getting things, it going away, you feeling lack, trying again, getting a little more, going away. I think you know where I'm going with this. So, of course, it's always good to, if you fall down, get back up. That's my mentality as well. But for this, if you cannot control it, you constantly will be in that cycle. And that is so fucking frustrating. So let me give you an example to further clarify. As you know, I have a company. My company is GRW.Well. I have multiple streams of income from the company for the services that we offer to our community. So just from me saying that alone, now this is a small business. You know that I'm just starting off my practices. I said practices because there's multiple things that I will do, but my practice. And you might be thinking, okay, well, you have multiple streams of income, but like, are you rolling in dough? Well, I feel that I am. And so I'm not going to say, well, I'm trying to get this practice off of the ground and I would like to have multiple streams of income because I really want to help our community. No, I don't say that. My company is GRW.Well. I have multiple streams of income from the company for the services that we offer to our community. I will make $2 million minimum, and that is after taxes. Okay, pause. I did just say what you heard. I will make $2 million minimum, and that is after taxes. Okay, now let's take a deep breath. Let's breathe in. Hold it. Count to 3. 1, 2, 3. Now breathe out. Now someone right now has a fear of anxiety, doubt, worry, or your lack mentality may be there. And I want you to take inventory of that right now and say something positive. But take note of the feeling that you are experiencing. I will help you further. Repeat after me. This year, I am so empowered that all of my desires of my heart chase after me. It is an abundant year for me, and I am grateful. And you can say that again and again just to get that fear to go away, that anxiety, that doubt, that worry, lack mentality. You can repeat that as many times as you like. But this is my personal goal. So what I did, and this also works for the things that I have manifested now and that I have now, because you can manifest things, but we also have to sustain them. So you got to continue operating at that high frequency. So I'll tell you what I did or what I do. I pray and I give it to God. I don't give it to him saying, oh God, I need your help so bad. I wish. No. Now I used to do that. That is a lack mentality. That's also a survival mentality. And that is a completely different episode that we will get into. But I have learned from a really good friend of mine, my best friend, I have learned to give it to him and let it go, lay it on the altar. And that's what I do. And I don't lay it on the altar and say, oh God, I'm going to give you my business because I would love for this to happen. Or I don't lay it on the altar with the affirmation afterwards to be like, okay, well, I'm operating in this, Lord. I lay it on the altar. I thank him. And I just say, Lord, I give you my business and I'm laying it on the altar. And I thank you for all of the wonderful things that manifest from this business. And I thank you for allowing me to be a vessel to so many people globally, and let it go. Number 2, I wrote down, what does $2 million revenue Ericka do on a daily basis? What is she like? What's her vibe and energy? And to help you, I'll share some of the things I wrote. So, $2 million revenue Ericka, what does she do? What is her vibe? What's her energy? What's she like? Is she popping? So, I put down, she eats clean, she is healthy and works out, moving and flowing with her body. She has a successful podcast, which means that I have to be consistent. And she has a community of flowing friends. This means that I have to build all the things that DSGW will have to help serve the community of friends we've built. Again, I have to be consistent. She is loving, she loves deep, and she is lovable. Now, this is all about attitude, my interactions with friends and family and other people that I connect with. So these are a few things that I wrote down. And this is what Ericka, $2 million revenue, 2 milli Ericka, this is how she vibrates. And so I vibrate in that energy every day. I'm not focusing on, okay, oh my gosh, come on, podcast, let me check my analytics. Obviously, we have started checking the analytics, and I am so pumped about them, but I'm not stressing out about it. I'm just like, these are the things that Ericka does every day. I have a morning routine. I have a night routine. I meditate. I connect and reach out to people that I say I love, and I make sure that they're good. And when new people that meet me, I make sure I'm loving and warm and welcome towards them. That's all that I'm doing. On top of, yes, do I write out things that needs to be done for the business per week and take care of it? Yes. But that's me operating in that energy. So that's what I want you to really understand. And I try really hard every day, because I say I do this every day, and it has gotten to the point to where, I'm pretty good at balancing my emotions, and if something happens, I will allow myself time. I mean, let's be honest, we're human. And even just yesterday, I had a rough day where I had to allow myself some time to just be a little grumpy, and that's okay. But one of the things that Ericka is, she loves deep, she's loving, she's lovable. So even though I was grumpy, that doesn't mean that if somebody calls me, I can be like, what the F do you want? Like, no, I don't talk crazy to people. I let them know, hey, I'm just not really feeling it today. I'm in a bad mood. Like, these are the things that happened to me. I'm going to call you back. I'll call you back. And that is okay, because even though I'm grumpy and I want to sit in that for a little bit, I wasn't having the best day. It was just a long day of just a lot of things that happened. And I was constantly doing stuff and then stopping and having to do work things and then go back to other personal things. It was just a lot of energies, a lot of dynamics around me, and it made me a little grumpy. And so I had to ground myself, but I wanted to be grumpy for about 5 or 6 hours, and I was, but I made sure that I was still vibrating at 2 milli Ericka. And yes, she can be grumpy, but she doesn't talk crazy to people that she loves or new people that she meets. So I'm still vibrating. Again, we are human. It is okay for us to not be fake. And the important thing is that we need to always acknowledge our emotions. We need to process it and give ourselves time to just do that, and then get up the next day and operate back in that energy. Or you can just say, I'm going to give myself 2 hours, and then I'm going to have to get back up, get on the horse again, and keep pushing forward. It just really depends where you are in your walk. I know that there was times before when I was really at an unhealthy state. I mean, this was years ago, thank God. I'm very grateful. But if anyone is struggling with this, trust me, I know there was a time when one thing could happen, and maybe, like, for example, the day that I had yesterday, that would have spiraled me at least for 2 weeks if this was, 10 years ago, maybe even 8 years ago. But that time, let me just be really truthfully honest. at a darker, even more dark time in my life, I'll say this was 10 years ago, it would have spiraled me for 4 to 5 months. So my time of allowing myself to deal with it and then just get back on the horse has definitely shortened. And if you are at a dark time in your life, that's what I'm here for. Now, I feel the energy of me operating and already having minimum $2 million revenue after taxes. It's all mine. And that helps me continue to push forward because each day I'm doing these things. And so it leaves little to no room for self-doubt, lack, survival. Now, again, it does creep in every once in a while. Yes, it does. But like I said before, let's always acknowledge our emotions. Let's process it, give ourselves some time, and then we get back up and we ride again. As my best friend would say, tomorrow we will ride again. And we will ride in that energy that we're operating in, that high frequency. Now, when I say feel yourself in that energy, you are already there. It has already happened, and I mean that. That doesn't mean that we have to go around talking to ourselves and pretending all day as if we're playing house like we did when we were younger. This means that it's already yours. You're already operating in that energy. Remember the list, the 2 milli Ericka, that list. That's the energy that I operate in and I want to flow in. So you're not going to worry about where it will come from. You're just flowing in that energy. You're vibrating higher. And I love doing something else that is so helpful if you are also beginning to learn how to reprogram your subconscious and conscious mind. Now, what I would do before, when I started learning to do this years ago, is I would meditate. Guided meditations are perfect, where you will be asked to see yourself in that position. I would do this morning and night because it was so helpful and it just was so soothing. And it even got to a point to where I would meditate, but it was like a hypnosis meditation. And I would do this before I went to bed at night, and I just loved it. I needed to do that. I needed to do some serious reprogramming, rewiring of my subconscious and conscious mind. And even right now, I prayed and manifested where I live right now. And trust me, there were so many delays and things happening. I got so discouraged. Money was spent. I was also trying to help my son move into his new apartment at the time. But when I could, I would sit outside of where I live now, and I would imagine walking around the neighborhood, making dinner, having wine after dinner, going to plays, movies, and all the awesome things that my neighborhood brings. I found the park, and I would go there and imagine myself living so cute and bougie, just being that girl. I did not give up, and I had every reason to, but I kept myself in that feeling, and I kept having to redirect myself, but the feeling was so strong, and I am here now, and I'm so thankful and grateful to God. So if you can do that, if you see a building, if you're an entrepreneur and you see a building that you want, go and sit outside that building or just walk by it and just imagine yourself walking in there for work, telling your employees hi, be in that feeling of it. So, last, your environment matters. You want to vibrate higher. You will start to see things after a certain time of you doing that. And you might realize that, hey, I want to vibrate higher. And these things, this environment that I'm around, this is not aligned with my frequency. And you might have to cut that off. And I say to you, if you do have to cut things out because they're not aligning with the frequency that you're vibrating at with, then do it with a pure heart and gratitude for the time spent together. Whew. So, this is some serious crown chakra work, but you can and you will do it. And you will prevail because this is the winning team and all we do is win, win, win no matter what over here. So thank you for hanging out with me today. TGI motherfucking F. Happy Super Bowl. Happy Usher Raymond and be blessed. See you next week.